so here we are in the kitchen of the newly finished townhome. Again, the townhome that we saw in construction in earlier segments. Chad, tell us what types of things, because everything that we see in here doesn't necessarily come as a standard when you're purchasing new home construction. So can you walk us through some of the features that we see here and let us know what would be considered a standard and what types of things a purchaser would have to be prepared to, number one, ask for, and number two, pay more for?
Right, sure. Well, in the kitchen, a couple things that would probably jump out to most people would be the backsplash.
Beautiful backsplash.
It is a beautiful backsplash. Granite does a great job with their upgrades, and that's one that I really like. So that would be an upgrade. Normally you wouldn't have that.
Now, your opinion as a realtor, Chad, how important is a backsplash? Does a backsplash serve function as well as aesthetic, or is it more aesthetically pleasing?
I spend a lot of time with my microwave as opposed to my stove. So I personally can't speak to its function. However, I have heard that it can have function. I mean, some of the things, aesthetically pleasing obviously is huge for a lot of people. But
particularly in the kitchen.
Yeah.
A lot of people for resale value.
Kitchens and bathrooms are huge for resale value. So there's that in terms of you're going to enjoy it for the time you're in the home, as well as the fact you're going to get more for your home than arguably very similar home without that upgrade. Okay? Not $10,000 more, but you will get more. Yeah. Second thing is it's very durable. So, if you have kids, stuff like that, you don't need to worry about, them damaging your walls because the kitchen's a high-use area. The other thing that they do, what this particular builder does, is it's not, it comes halfway down the wall, so therefore, things that kids could get a hold of, even behind fridges, will be protected as well. It's got some function, but most of it would be aesthetic. Okay.
So continuing on with upgrades?
Yeah, sure. Speaking of microwaves, a range like this would be an upgrade. Normally, you just get a hood fan, which is could be anywhere from $40 to $240, but it would be not an upgrade.
Now, is it possible to change your mind later on down the road and install a microwave and fan combination unit?
Yeah.
As long as you have what?
As long as it's roughed in to handle that, absolutely. In most cases, it would be.
And by rough in, what do we mean?
Just making sure that the wiring is there to actually accommodate a range.
So plug it in.
Yeah, you can always get a more decorative hood fan, but a range will require a different type of wiring. So, just talk to your builder, whoever your builder is. Another upgrade in here would be something like the glass.
This is lovely.
Yeah, and it's small and it's not a huge expense, but it just adds that nice finishing touch.
What about this angled?
For this particular model, that isn't an upgrade. The glass would be, but no, not that extra cover, not that angle. Okay. And probably the countertops are standard. The cabinetry is actually standard.
Really? No, this. I mean, it is in fact a laminate countertop. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it actually looks almost like a stone. Yeah. When you first now, but it's also textured.
Yeah.
I don't know if that can be seen on film, but it's a very textured laminate. That's not an upgrade?
No, it's not. And these counters have come a long way in the last decade.
Absolutely.
So you don't need to upgrade them for aesthetics, although obviously you can. You can go with granite and things like that, marble. But no, they're standard. The cabinetry is standard. The handles are standard. And I know that because I have that on my own home.
I'm looking at this lovely crown molding here along the top.
Yes. Now, if you have the open top, then the crown is a standard. Is an upgrade. So consider that. But again, it's not a great expense, and it just finishes it off. Just that extra little bit.
And I see under here as well. It looks like there's a valence lighting underneath here.
Yes, and that is an upgrade as well.
Okay. Now, how, and as your opinion as a realtor, your experience, how important is that valence lighting?
Probably not. It's a nice touch. I don't think you're going to get extra value for it when you go to sell. But more people will probably fall in love with your kitchen quicker than if it didn't have it. So it might be a question of your home sells much faster because it has those little added touches.
Would it also be a question of how much light you're getting in your kitchen?
Yeah.
As well, particularly if you do cook?
In a townhome, that is important because obviously there's only, basically 2 walls that you can draw light from.
Yeah.
So that could be very important. Again, hate to admit it, but I don't spend a ton of time in the kitchen, so it's not something I would think about. But of course, light would be a big.
And I'm looking around and I'm seeing openings in the kitchen for appliances, but no appliances to be found. Is it possible in new home construction to bring your own appliances?
Yeah, absolutely. The builder in this particular case will give you a $1,600 appliance credit, which basically means they'll knock $1,600 off the price, or you can have their appliances, they'll bring them in. So if you want to bring in your own, that's fine. You'll get a rebate of $1,600, and you can go and do whatever you want.
So definitely, if you're thinking of, or if you have your own appliances that you'd like to bring with you, a question worth asking during that purchasing process. Okay, perfect.
That's pretty much it for the kitchen. Light fixtures, not just in the kitchen but throughout the house, have been upgraded here. Again, that's personal preference, and what you spend on that really is up to you.
I'm looking at the ceiling here as well. This is not a flat finish ceiling. This is California finish ceiling. And I know that with some new homes, this is an upgrade. Is that correct?
Yeah, in this case, no. It's standard. Granite homes, in my personal opinion, gives you quite a bit for standard. For instance, the ceramic floors throughout the kitchen and dinette and the hallways, it's all standard. So,
Wonderful.